Guys, welcome to another installment of Into the West Comics. We're calling this Loki theory with all the hype surrounding the last episode and how that finale went with I don't know if this is a word. I've been hearing it being used. The spaghettification
I've heard that, yes.
of one Victor Timely. Spoiler, if you didn't see it at the end there. What is going to happen with Loki going forward? We have 2 episodes left. They put a trailer together to tease us.
They didn't show much.
They didn't show a lot, but the last 2
weak.
episodes. What do you guys think is going to happen, and how are you liking Loki so far? Their milkshakes.
I'm loving Loki. It's probably my favorite show on Disney Plus for Marvel, at least. Yeah, the last episode was pretty, a cliffhanger, like we were saying before we were talking. Just kind of like, oh, we didn't expect that to happen. Just kind of like, you never really think with Marvel, like, oh, something bad's going to happen. It's usually like, oh, we saved the day. It's fine. But then they actually left it like, what's going to happen next? I don't really know what's going to happen next, that's what I really like. My theory is that Victor Timely's probably not dead, probably. I don't know if he's going to be the main Kang or something like that. So, yeah, I'm just excited to see what the last 2 episodes are going to show. Are they going to switch everything up? Are they going
to? Brother Marcus is here. Yes. He's looking very nice.
Hey, thank you.
Your Kangle.
Kangle.
Yeah.
Shout out. Piggy Blinders.
What do you think about Loki series so far?
I think it's very well done. Just probably the same quality and caliber as the first season. I would think that it's a little. They tried a little bit more to be more complex in the storytelling, which I mean kind of lost me in a couple of areas with the back and forth between some of the plot points that were going on between the different time streams and who all is supposed to be doing what. But it's good. It's good.
Whatever happened is on camera. So
he just had to plug that one in. Sorry. Didn't hear anything. Didn't know why.
Quan is a mental patient. I'm sorry. my headphones got disconnected.
This is one of the few times I'm going to believe the person who isn't Quan in this.
Thank you, Paul.
So
it's making me laugh.
But yeah, so I think it's.
He said thank you. I was agreeing with Quan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, what? Go ahead, Marcus.
So one of the main things that I was kind of had an issue with was with the character of Brad. Starting with that Breaking Brad episode, just this episode before the latest one, and it was one of those points in the whole story where I was like, okay. Who is Brad? Why do I care? Why is he all of a sudden important? And if he is important, why wasn't he set up, back in the previous season or earlier in this season? Because when you just introduce somebody randomly and no one kind of recalls who they are, maybe he was part of the TVA and he looked like maybe he was like extra number 3. I don't know. But then
extra.
Yeah.
I know, Marcus, I started rewatching the first season all over again one more time just to make sure. I'm like, is Brad in the first season somewhere?
That's what I thought too. No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought he was.
Yeah.
But not because I remembered him. I just assumed he was.
Yeah.
And now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah. I was like, was he a TVA kind of soldier or what? I don't know. So that was the concern I had. Because then when you introduce characters all of a sudden like that, then it's like, okay, so where does he fit in this? Now we got to figure out what his importance and relevance is to the story, and that can kind of be distracting from whatever the main point of the story is supposed to be. So that was the major issue I had, and then just with everyone getting pruned and everything, just trying to keep track of everything and who's like getting eliminated, who's still there, who's still in play, that was a little bit much, but overall still enjoyable. I didn't hate it. That wasn't any cause for me to dislike the show or those episodes. So yeah, not bad.
Paul.
So I definitely see where Marcus is coming from on some of the stuff. I actually kind of agree on it. but much like him, I am enjoying the show for the most part. But by the time this comes out, the second to last episode will have come out. And I think that either in this episode that's happening as we speak or in the finale, we will find out that Timely did not die and he is he who remains. Because there was a little bit of talk earlier in the season where like he was going back and forth with Ravonna and Sylvie, I think. Some combination like that. And he was like, I'm not him though.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of hinting at maybe he is though. Because Sylvie's like, maybe you'll become him. And everything in this show so far has been pointing towards Sylvie was wrong, Sylvie messed up, blah, 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 blah. And I think by the end, it's maybe going to go, no, she was right, and you should have let her kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because whatever happens with the pruning, because we've already seen in this season, pruning someone does not mean, or pruning or whatever the timing spaghetti does not mean they're dead.
They're going to the end of time. The end of time.
Yeah. So maybe Victor Timely gets sent to the end of time,
and he's stuck there, and then he becomes he who remains with Ravonna because she went there too.
And he never actually saw all these horrible variants of his. He actually only knows about them from what he's been told by Loki and them.
Right.
From this season. So we're seeing the origin of the He Who Remains at the end of last season, this season.
Right.
And then everything will go from there and he'll be like, I knew you were coming. That's why he knows they're coming. Because he is this character. So that's what I think is going to happen. And I think that would be pretty cool. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be like upset, but I think that would be pretty cool.
Plus, Miss Minute says you'll never be him. Like
that
you'll never
terrible.
be him.
Yeah.
Like which means
and she was borderline creepy. She
that
was
was
creepy.
terrible. The whole box
Bro,
scene.
she's a psychopath.
The box scene. That was
great.
She's excited, bro.
he's like, hey, killing people.
Well, I like Paul's theory actually. That's if it's circular like that, if it actually comes back around and
because it reminds me of
that would make it interesting.
Superman Red Sun. You know how at the end it's like in the far flung future and they're like, all right, we messed up. We got to send our kid back in time to stop this. And then sending the kid back in time is what makes it happen.
Right.
Yep.
I think that's kind of Loki and Morbius are like, oh, we got to make sure that these things don't happen. We got to bring him into it so it doesn't happen. And then, because we've already seen in this season, characters having like a conversation in the present and characters having a conversation in the past and them gaining new information from that new thing that's happening kind of on this point in the timeline, but also at this point. And we're seeing like something from the past informing something from the present, or excuse me, something from the present informing something from the past. So I think that's what could be going on with Timely. And that would be pretty cool and thematic.
Uncle Nephew,
can you
I
hear
know
us?
that you've can you hear us first of all?
Yes, I can hear you, Frank.
What do you you're way over there. What do you think about this theory of this a lot of the people are speculating on the internet that the thing is just a big loop and that we'll have them get to I heard this theory the other day, but we get to the finale of this season that they'll be with He Who Remains again, like they did at the end of the previous season. It just looks a little different for Sylvie and for Loki. Instead, it's like Mobius and Sylvie or Mobius and Loki who are meeting with He Who Remains. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's a good way to possibly look at it because in the last episode, it's Loki pruning himself.
Right.
You know, where we didn't know that. And then they're having the same kind of conversation again, even Loki and Sylvie about whether it's a good idea to keep Timely alive.
Right.
And so it's already looping already in the show. I think there's nothing they can do about any of it. I think I think what is happening on the internet is true. It's going to wind up with He Who Remains. And I think what Paul said is probably the way that it happens. That basically, but we know for sure that if you're out there, when Timely gets evaporated, that he's at the end of time. We know that's specifically what happens.
No.
We don't know what happens to all these agents that have been pruned, or where
or
are
is it just
they?
the pruning that they send
right.
you.
There's no way he's dead, right? Like what a
or it's just another version.
What
That's
a
another
wasted
variant of him.
But you know what I mean? I feel like to just have that character Timely be gone is just what did we watch the last 3 episodes for then?
Right.
Why
I
did
mean,
we,
and that's the thing.
why
There
did we
is
spend so much time on him?
yeah, and there is a trailer out for the rest of the episode. Did anyone see the trailer that came out?
I watched a little bit of it. I didn't want to watch the whole thing. I don't want it spoiled.
I made the unfortunate.
I mean, was it cool though? I mean, did you?
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's not very convincing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's cool.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. Like, I wish I wouldn't have seen it. That's how cool it is.
It's been reported that there's been a good number of shifts as far as development within Marvel Studios and what they plan to do with Plus. We're hearing rumors now that we're getting an Echo trailer tomorrow morning, and that it's been cut down to possibly 5 or 6 episodes from the original 8 to 10 episode order. That it's been the show's been pruned. That they've cut the show back.
I forgot that show was even coming out.
That it's going to be released all in one shot, and then What If has been pushed back to, instead of January, I think it's going to be pushed back to March, because there's only going to be one movie for MCU next year. And now we're hearing they're waiting on all of the legal proceedings regarding Jonathan Majors, and that they might try to fast track Doctor Doom. Really quickly, I just want to get your guys' thoughts about that. Austin, tell me real quick what you're thinking about if they should stick with Kang and possibly a recast, or they just switch to Doctor Doom and go forward.
I hope they stay with Kang and recast, but I'm guessing they'll probably switch to Doctor Doom just because they don't want all the legal trouble. And if something actually happens, then they're like stuck with him. It's a lot of legal. But I hope they keep Jonathan Majors because he's just a great actor.
He's a great actor.
So, yeah.
I'm lost. Like, why is this even still an issue? His issues are done. The accuser is actually in jail.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
I have no idea
at this point.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's really weird to me. I would have to say that I want them to stick with Kang because they've invested all this time in setting him up already.
Yeah.
So let's go with it and spend a little more time making sure you're perfecting Doctor Doom, because if you mess up this time, then
it's over.
I'm probably going to sell every Marvel thing I have.
Wow. And that's a lot. I've seen a bunch of his books.
Yeah. Because I mean, at this point, it's like, you guys are stupid.
Enough's enough.
I'm done. Yeah.
I mean, could they do the Doctor Doom? I mean, I think they might switch to Doctor Doom just for the main reason that Fantastic Four needs to come out, and they're working on that.
They said Galactus might be their main villain.
Yeah, but it's been rumored that Galactus is going to be the villain for the Fantastic Four movie. They would need Doctor Doom for Secret Wars, even if they're going to be doing the 2015 version of Secret Wars, where it's like Battle World and everything.
Right.
They would probably want to include Doctor Doom in that. They don't necessarily need Kang for that.
Powers.
Yeah.
And they're saying they may bring back the main cast of the Avengers for one of the.
And I think it's a mistake.
Yeah,
Me too.
And I mean, hey, have them both. Have them both. Have Kang meet Doctor Doom.
Yeah, sure.
And let them and kind of make it, because I mean, the movie world and the comic book world is that those brands are so divorced from each other at this point that really you can take liberties, creative liberties, and make something out of just that unique, relationship being, planted, that seed being planted between, Kang and Doctor Doom meeting. You got someone who's, super, advanced in technology with someone who is like that, but in magic world. So, I mean, hey, why not? I mean, make something unique.
I know, because they have to do something, right, Margaret? Like, they have to do something to wow somebody at this point. It's going to be kind of boring if there's just one villain. They have to do something cool.
Exactly.
At some point.
Marvel has more than one challenge ahead of them, don't they, Paul?
Yeah, I think they should just finish what they're doing with Kang.
Yes.
Whether it's with Jonathan Majors or not, I truthfully do not care. Doesn't make a difference to me whether he's playing the character or not. But they need to finish what they're doing with that, because if they just handbrake turn into Doctor Doom, the only reason I will continue watching anything Marvel is because we talk about it. Other than that, if they were to handbrake turn into Doctor Doom,
it becomes strictly homework, is what you're saying.
Yes, I would stop watching.
Okay.
I would completely and totally stop watching.
It was
Even if it was good, I just don't care. You just are telling me that this universe that one of the main reasons I'm invested in this is because it is a connected universe, and we are telling small stories within a larger story.
right.
And if we're just handbrake turning and going, oh, well, this guy did something stupid. And also, you guys didn't like these ones, so we're just going to completely scrap this. Let me put it in these terms. I prefer a mediocre comic book series that finishes over a mediocre comic book story that just ends and picks up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right.
Or doesn't pick up at all.
I mean,
I'd
it
rather
happens
just
with
be-
the comics. I mean, it happens with the comics, but it happens with the movies. But the budget is much more inflated.
Yeah,
so
There's
I
a lot
just-
more moving parts
feel
to
like-
it if it's
yeah.
the
Just
finale
finish what
goes
you're doing.
Yeah,
poorly.
they'll probably keep King until King Dynasty. Maybe they'll swap at Secret Wars, maybe with like the
With
maybe,
Doom? Yeah,
maybe he'll
sure.
just they kill him or something. Like that'll be the end of it.
Do
Yeah.
like he did Thanos in the comic. That would be cool.
I'm excited for these last 2 episodes of Loki.
Yeah.
I want to
As
see
am I.
what they do with it, and I know that. I mean, they've said that Kang is going to be featured in at least, or Jonathan Majors will be featured in at least 3 of the episodes. So we know we're going to see him either in episode 5 or the finale. I think it's more likely to see him in the finale that we'd actually get him, and then hopefully we get some resolutions to what they're going to be doing because they want to do another season of Loki. I mean, that's got to be the long-term plan. Guys, just keep in mind for the Loki finale, speaking of the Loki season finale, we'll be on at a special time, 7 p.m. Pacific. We'll be reacting to Loki's season finale prior to us going to see the Marvels all together, or as Paul likes to call it, the Mavels. We'll be going to see it all together with about 15 of our closest friends, having the world's greatest popcorn, and then we'll be returning later that evening to reacting live to the Mavels. So, guys, thank you. And be on the lookout for more content from us this weekend coming up. Maybe some TikTok dances. Maybe we'll get Shane on Sonny's Feet Finder.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep.
And maybe some pizza. Maybe a pizza party. Is in
Pizza.
order.
Pizza party. Was,
Hey, girl.
I want to go to the pizza party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get a pizza pie. Pizza pie. Pizza pie. Man.